One block for today's practice. We're going to start on our backs. About 30 to 40 minute movement practice today. Lots of stability work, lots of core work, right? Working through the abdominals, the shoulders, and the hip system here. You're going to start by putting the block between your hands. You can hold the block on that long setting between the heels of the hands and just reach your arms up to the ceiling. Keeping your elbows straight, just pull your shoulder blades towards one another into your back. And then as you breathe out, I want you to do the opposite. I want you to spread your shoulder blades as wide as they'll go. Shoulders really peel off the floor. And again, inhale, keeping the elbows straight, really isolating the scapula. Retract the shoulder blades and widen to protract the shoulder blades. One more time. I'm really imagining you have olive oil under the scapula. Just let them glide nice and easy as best you can. Good. Now set your shoulder blades in neutral so you feel them wide on your back. You're going to lift both legs up to tabletop, knees directly over your hips. And you're just going to reach the arms over the head as you tap one toe to the floor. And then lift both back up. Inhale, lower the other toe down, arms overhead. Exhale, come back up. And the breathing here is not as important, like if you inhale on the way back or exhale. It doesn't matter. You can try both and see what you like better today. But just making sure the breath and the movement match in speed and in length. Let's do one more time each leg. Nice, solid, stable spine here. Waking up those stabilizer muscles. And then put the feet down. And you're going to put the block, the medium width between your knees. Starting in a neutral pelvis, you're going to take a big breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to roll your pelvis under. Squeeze your bum and start to roll up your spine. You're only rolling up high enough where you can keep your sternum from popping up. So we're not going into a yoga bridge. We're not back bending. In fact, when you're up here at the top, think about your low ribs and your hip bones pulling towards each other slightly. So you actually have a little bit more ab connection there. And then as you breathe out next time, roll down the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Really trying to get mobile through the back. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, curl your pelvis under. Squeeze the block a little bit, push through your feet and roll up. Remember that slight flexion through the abdominals, hips and ribs hug towards each other at the top. See if you can push your hips a little bit higher, so lots of glute work. Squeeze the block a little bit more and then roll back down slowly, one vertebra at a time. We got one more to go, y'all. Roll the pelvis. Hips and ribs stay hugged towards each other. As you keep lifting the hips up, this is really great to open up the front of the hips here. Take a breath in at the top, squeeze the block. Exhale, roll back down. Good. Now instead of rolling through the spine, we're going to hinge at the hip, but let's add a little creative variation here. You're going to put your left foot on the block, just like I have there, on that low height. You want your heel to connect to the block. Your toes will most likely be hanging off the edge a little bit, unless you have tiny feet. And then all I want you to do is set your feet hips width apart, and then you're going to push your hips straight up in the air, keeping the hips level. So obviously one foot is higher than the other, but we're trying to maintain those level hips. And then you're going to hinge your hips back down onto the floor. Do that again. You'll probably feel a little left hamstring work. I'm hoping. We're actually getting into the hamstrings a lot today, so it's good that we're warming them up. But really think about the glutes as being the movers in this exercise. If you'd like to add more, push down and at the top, float your right knee to tabletop and then lower back down. If that's too much on your left hamstring, just stay with both feet down. All right, let's do a few more. Lift your hips up. See if you can maintain level hips. Float the right knee to tabletop and lower down. Good, last two. Can you land your pelvis equal on both sides? Lower straight down, level hips the whole way. Okay, let's do the other side. So move the block over. It's now under your right foot. Take enough time to get really settled. You have good alignment, right? Your knees are pointing in the same direction as your toes. The block is in a good spot. It's not too far away from you, not too hugged in close to you. Good. And then we're going to push down through both feet, lift the hips up, and lower the hips down. So body or the spine moves as a unit from the hip joints and straight down. Push up through the glutes. Lower down. Now we add the left knee lifting to tabletop. So push up, lift, and lower down. And push and lift. And lower down. Really maintaining that hinge-like movement at the hip joint. Making sure you're not rolling through the spine like we were earlier. Last two. And last one. All right, good. Grab the block with your feet. It's a nice little transitional moment here. And hold the block again in that wide setting between the heels of the hands. So you don't even have to use your fingers here. You can let the fingers be free. You're gonna lift the legs up. This might be one of the most challenging exercises we do today. So we're gonna progress it. So you take it as you need to, pausing and staying with whatever progression is best for you. So the legs go up and you can have straight legs if you have that flexibility or slightly bent. I want you to lower the legs just slightly away from you, maintaining neutral spine, not arching the back. And then I want you to draw the legs up and start to roll your pelvis under and bring your legs to touch the block. And then lower the legs away from you. And notice I'm not moving my arms. I'm trying to bring my lower body to the block and down. It's not easy. And it's not about bringing the legs. It's not about flexibility. It's actually about the strength of the core, the strength of the abdominals to round the lower back off the mat. So it's, in the fitness world, we call it a reverse crunch, right? We're flexing from the lower half of the spine. Okay, now bring the arms just slightly back. I think you might know where we're going. We're gonna see if we can bring the legs over towards the block and roll back down. So this is where it gets tricky. I might have to stop talking because I really have to concentrate on this one. Deep flexion of the low belly. And lower. Let's do one more. Do your best. Now, arms go all the way back. Some of you might be able to go all the way to the floor. If you can, that's fine. Here we go. Lower the legs away from you. Exhale. Roll the pelvis under. Bring the legs to the block. Oh, there it is. And now here's the real test. Can you roll down slowly, squeezing through the pelvic floor on the way down? Inhale, lower the legs. Exhale, lift the legs. We're going to the block. Roll it down. So you can just stay with the block straight up over the head if that's better for you, right? We're gonna do one more, you guys. I'm gonna try to bring my block all the way to the floor. And then roll down as slowly as you can. Really reach your arms away from you. Yes. And then relax for a moment. Woo, that was a doozy, that one. Okay, shake it off. Maybe let your knees drop side to side. Okay. Now we're gonna do something a little funky here. I want you to take the block on one of the long ends on your right hand. So grab the block with your right hand. You're gonna put the block on the side of your head just like this. You're laying down. And I want you to take your left arm out to the side of you. And then you're gonna bring your left knee up into tabletop. So push the head into the block and the hand into the block so you have a little bit of that counterbalance connection. And then I want you to lift your chest and rotate towards the left as you inhale, lower down. As you exhale, lift up and rotate. Inhale, lower down. And you know what, you guys? Take that left arm and wrap it around your waist instead. Let's try that. Exhale, lift up and twist. Oh, that's better. Inhale, lower. If you feel your neck working, that's normal. The neck needs to work when we flex our trunk. Good, and lower. Couple more. Inhale, notice I'm doing a really big exhale into that twist. That'll help. Last one, try to keep your butt as solid on the floor as you can. So heavy butt, like a lead butt. Excellent. Relax for a second. Left foot comes to the floor, right knee lifts. Take the block in your left hand, put it on the left side of your head, and wrap your right arm around your waist. So we're on the other side. Take a breath in at the bottom. Exhale, lift and twist, twist, twist. Inhale, lower, down. Exhale, lift and twist, twist, twist. Inhale, lower, down. Right? So not as fast as when we normally do these kind of abdominal twists. And exhale. So we actually build up more strength when we slow down, especially through when we're talking about deep core work. Good. Last two, keep your butt heavy. Lower. Last one. And lower, straight back down. Okay. Block goes out to the side. Again, if you want to let your knees drop side to side, you can. All right. Rock up to a seat. We are going to go right into some hands and knees, onto our hands and knees. And what I want you to try to do here, guys, is bring your block, and why don't we try to lift it up onto the high setting? And you're gonna bring it straight out from your knee and then back. So it's lined up with your shin, all right? And whatever side the block is on, you're gonna extend that leg out long, lift it up, and make sure that you're in your nice, long, neutral, supported spine. You're not sagging. You're gonna lift that leg up and try to take it in front of the block. If it feels too high, right, if that's not good for your hip, the block can go back a little bit more, right? So adjust for what you need in your body. And then you're gonna lift up and tap it to the other side of the block. Lift up, out to the side. But we are trying to keep our leg in that side direction. Push down equally with both hands. And again, keep the spine long and strong. We're moving right at the hip joint only. Some of you who might feel like kicking this up a notch can extend left arm, or the opposite arm rather, out to the side. So you're only on 2 limbs, right? Good, we've got a few more. This exercise is so good for the obliques and the deep spinal muscles of your trunk. Last one. Good, bring it behind you, pull the knee back underneath of you. Sit back on your heels for a second. If you'd like to take a little counter stretch for the chest, interlace the fingers and open the heart up. Good. I'll show this from the front this time, so I'm going to change and bring my block off to the side and then extend the other leg back. Lift it up. Now the tendency is going to be to sway off to the side. Keep yourself right over your wrists. Take your leg out to the side, up and over the block. And back again. Up and over the block. And behind. Good. Let's do 3 more. Maybe bring the arm out. You might notice that one side is harder than the other. Last one, you guys. Up and over. Good. Bring the knee back underneath of you. Sit back. Interlace the fingers. Open the chest. Big breath in all the way up to your collarbones. And out. All right. Come on down to your belly. A little bit more work for the hamstring here. Okay, you're gonna start with the block in between the heels of the hands again. And the legs can be long underneath of you, slightly separated on the mat. Point your kneecaps straight down if you can. And just let your head be heavy for a moment. A little tuck of your tailbone, like if you had a hook on your pubic bone, you would be hooking that into the mat. Your glutes will automatically work. Keep the tuck of the pelvis. Lift your chest and your arms up just a little bit. And then you're gonna put the block in your right hand, sweep both arms behind your back, and pass the block to the other hand as you bring the arms forward. Pass it to the hand again. So you're passing in the front and you're passing in the back. So you're making the same sort of circular pathway with the block. You're also getting some really nice work for the shoulders. External rotation and internal rotation. Now go ahead and reverse it so the block is being passed going the other direction. Check in that your legs are still strong, your glutes are strong, your pubic bone is still hooked into the mat. And we've got one more. Good, now stay up here, you guys. The block is behind you. You're gonna bend your knees and you're gonna put the block in between your ankles. How about that? Hands come forward. You can put your forehead on your hands. And then let's lift the thigh bones off the floor. Pelvis presses down, thigh bones lift. Release the thigh bones down as you inhale. As you exhale, deep scoop of the low belly. That'll keep the load out of your low back and put it into your posterior leg. Glutes and hamstrings. Flex the feet or point the feet, either one. I always get lots of questions about flexing or pointing the feet. Oftentimes it makes a difference. Oftentimes it really doesn't matter. Good. Now, extend the leg or pull the knees off the floor. Hold the knees off the floor. Can you extend your legs behind you without letting your knees collapse? And then pull your heels towards your bum. My knees are still floating. Extend the legs behind you. So this is a hamstring curl. If you're feeling it, you're not alone. We've got one more to go. And then we relax the thighs down. Remove the block. Let your shins, your feet, kind of sweep side to side. All right. And then we're going to do a really nice little twist for the pelvis, you guys. This next exercise possibly could give you a hamstring cramp, but I want you to try it and see how it feels. You're going to clamp your right heel into the block, and the other end of the block is right under your bum on your hamstring. So this is the setup. You don't have to squeeze the block hard, just enough to keep it from dropping out. Okay? So I've got the block in my right side. My left arm is going to go out to the side like a letter T, and then I'm going to lift the leg with the block, and I'm going to pull it behind me for a spinal twist. You might even get a chest stretch here through that left side. And then I'm going to return to the mat slowly. All right, do that twice more. So the knee lifts first. The thigh bone moves back. The hip lifts. The ribs start to spiral. The chest can open. You can even turn and look up a little bit. Good. Now come back down the opposite way. Chest, ribs, hip, and knee. Last time. This is a really good mind-body exercise. You really have to concentrate on that spiral. Remember, you don't have to squeeze so hard. Just enough to hold the block in place. Good. Take the block out of the right side and put it on the left side. The right arm goes out to the side. Here we go. Lift the left knee. Pull it behind. Try to keep your head heavy on the floor. Rotate. If it's too crampy, right? If this is just not working for you today, just do it without the block. Totally fine. You'll still get a really nice twist, which is really the purpose of this movement. One more time. Lift the knee. Peel off the mat. And peel back on the mat. All right, take the block out. Push yourself into a little child's pose, hips to heels. Take a little moment there. And then go ahead and come on up to your knees. And if you need a little padding for your knees, you will just roll up your mat a little bit for a little cushion. I always like that. All right, and you're gonna hold the block. We're doing a little simple work through the shoulders and for the quads here. So, same hand position in the blocks. Heels of the hands, fingertips are free. Straight elbows. Now, just play with bringing your arms up over your head. Like if the block dropped, it would go straight down onto the crown of your head and then lower. Now, can you keep your hips stacked on top of your knees and not lean back? So I'm even pressing my hips forward a little bit. I feel the backs of my legs and my glutes working ever so slightly to keep that alignment. And what I'm also working on here, you guys, is moving my arms without my spine moving, right? So it's not this, we're not going into a back bend. We're actually trying to keep our ribs integrated into our body so that our movement occurs just at the shoulder joint and not the spine. Good, so this is great mobility for the shoulders. One more time, reach. And lower. Now keep the block right in front of your chest. Tuck your butt under. Feel the glutes start to activate there. Now lean back from the knee joint. Use the thighs and come forward. Let's do a few more like that. Press down through the feet. Keep the glutes squeezed. Hinge from the knees. Lift back up. And so again, can you make the movement happen just at the knee joint and not lean back with the spinal muscles or with the spine? Head stays in line with the spine. Let's do two more. Press down through the feet. Keep the tailbone tucked. Good. One more. Awesome. Put the block down. Roll out your mat again. And we've got just 2 standing exercises, and then this workout will be done. Okay, so put your block out in front of you. We're going to step on it with our left foot first. You definitely want your heel to be on the block. Your toes can hang off the edge, which they most likely will unless you have a tiny foot. But then go ahead and take a moment here and level off your hips, and you'll know that your hips are level if, one, you have a mirror anywhere, or you can see your feet side by side. So this is where we're going to come back to. But we're going to start by bending the standing knee, sliding the hips back, and see if you can tap your dangling heel forward on the ground, and then push back up, find those level hips again. And then do the same thing, but leg behind you, toe taps down, and push up. So I am working my standing leg mostly. I'm really looking for the tracking of the knee over the over the middle of my foot. And you're really looking for the long spine as you go in both directions here. Hinging at the hip. So it's like a little baby mini squat. And if you have a foam block like me, it's going to be challenging, right, for the ankle stability as well, because we've got that little bit of a mushy, soft surface. We'll do one more. Really reaching through that dangling foot. And we come up, and we'll change sides. I'll face you this time around just so you can see a little bit better what's happening. foot on the block. Dangle, hips are level. There we go. And we're gonna slide the hips back. That dangling heel goes as far in front of you as you can. You try not to put it on the floor, just tap it. And then try to go way back. Tap the toe. Sink the hips back, one-legged squat, watching that knee, tracking the knee over the toes. Yes. Not easy, especially on maybe one side in particular. Maybe you have a less stable side like me. Try not to rush this. If you need to move your arms around to balance, go for it. Last one. And reach. Come all the way up, step off the block. And we're gonna stand on the solid surface for this last standing exercise. Grab the block in one of your hands, and we'll stand back on the left foot, which is the alternate foot that we were standing on a second ago. And what we're gonna do is bring the other leg behind us, try to keep our hips square, and then just bow forward. You'll come into this warrior three, sort of deadlift position, and you're gonna put the block down somewhere in front of you, not too far away from you. See if you can stand up and find a balance. So more balancing, you're welcome. And then go back down again into that same position and try to grab the block with the other hand. And stand back up. All right, now same thing. We're gonna put the block somewhere on the floor, somewhere different, not just right in front of you every single time, because that's not gonna challenge you as much. And then try to grab it with the other hand. So this is gonna take me into a little bit of a twist. And I rise. And we're gonna do 2 more sets, you guys. Put the block somewhere different. And grab it. Oh. Last time, guys. Put it somewhere completely different, maybe even behind you. Arms can obviously help you balance. And I'm gonna try to reach across. And stand up. Ta-da! Other side. Standing on the other leg, rather. Okay, I felt that. Take the block in one hand, doesn't matter which one. Tip it forward, and you want to make sure that that lifting leg acts like a seesaw to the torso. So don't let the lifted leg just dangle. Stand up. There's a relationship between that lifted heel and the top of the head. And stand. And don't worry about how this looks. You're not going to be on the cover of Yoga Journal. Right, or gymnastics magazine. So we're really working on that control, stability. Our brain is having to work in new ways. Put it down in a different place each time. You're challenging the resiliency of your muscle tissue. Oh yeah. Our bodies are meant to move in infinite ways. So that's what this is all about. Last time. Oh gosh, I gotta go across. And stand. Okay, good job. Find a seat. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Give your wings a little flap here, knees up and down. Try to consciously slow down your breath a little bit. Let the knees become still. Round over your legs. Drop your head towards your feet. Good, and then come all the way up. Extend your legs out long to a V, whatever angle feels good for you. Hinge your body forward, walk your hands out, and then let your head just hang if that feels good on your neck. One more breath in and out. Come all the way back in. And you're just gonna take one hand out to the side and side bend. We didn't do very much side bending today, so this is your chance. Lift yourself back up and bend the other way. All right, you guys, we're finished. I hope you enjoyed this funky block practice, and I'll see you next time.